Hi everyone! Welcome to my Arki-knowts. Sa History of Architecture, tinatakal dito yung backgrounds about Egypt and ancient Near East, early Asian culture, Greeks and Greek world. Tapos aalamin natin dito yung description nila, yung physical characteristics ng lugar, their history, culture, resources, and their building techniques. For this content, itatakal lang muna natin yung kanilang description and physical characteristics. Then to be followed na lang yung kanilang history, culture, resources, and building techniques. Para hindi tayo masyadong ma-overload and at the same time, mabawasan yung boring vibe. Simulan natin dito sa Egypt and ancient Near East. So during Pleistocene Age, regions are inhabited by hunter-gatherers. So sila rin yung tinatawag nilang Natufians. Nagkaroon sila ng kaunting interest sa architecture nung nag-start na ang agriculture. Nung nagkaroon na ng mga buildings sa mga mas angat na komunidad ng Natufian. So yung location nito is from southern Turkey to Nile Delta. And then after that little interest, mud brick architecture took place. Itong mud brick na to, building material siya na gawa sa mixture ng loam, mud, sand, and water. Na mayroon lang binding materials na kagaya ng rice husk or straw. Next, let's learn about the term Near East. Etong Near East na to, geographical term siya na kung saan covered niya yung Arab state, Israel, Cyprus, Turkey, Iran, Egypt, and Transcaucasians. Yung Transcaucasians, ito yung Georgia, Armenia, Azerbaijan. So covered nito yung walled Jericho, Catalhoyuk with its painted shrines, the communities from first settlers to urban life, construction of city temples, and the rise of the First Empire. Next, dun naman tayo sa early Asian cultures. Under ni early Asian culture is China and India. So let's begin with China. They have these two major cultures, the Yangshao, which is based in West China, and the Longshan, na based naman sa East. Yung Longshan, sila ay nag-pioneer ng constructional characteristics wherein they surrounded their settlements with walls formed by layers of pounded earth or yung tinatawag nilang pise. Ito yung construction technique na kung saan yung building materials nila is gawa sa mga natural raw materials gaya ng earth, chalk, lime or gravel. Then, lumitaw naman yung tinatawag nilang Shang period, which they also called Yin in Chinese. Itong mga Shang rulers na to, kilala sila bilang dedicated builders because they created their walled settlements around their places and suburbs for the use of specific industries such as manufacture of bronze and pottery. Yung construction technique nila dito, involved pa rin yung paggamit ng pounded earth, stone columns, and they also use bronze plates para sa kanilang cladding. Tapos gumagawa din sila ng mga subterranean tombs. During this Shang Dynasty, dito nagsimula yung technological development ng China. Dito nag-start yung development ng kanilang bronze industry, tapos yung production ng cast iron, porcelain, and paper. And then after Shang period, here comes the Zhou period. During this period, nagkaroon ng division ng dynasty na kung saan nagkaroon ng Western Zhou and Eastern Zhou, which reflects the political complexity of the time, the spring and the autumn period. After Zhou period, here comes the Qin period. Dito na naging unified ang weights and measures, na-issue na din ng standard copper coins, Qin writing style, nagkaroon na din ng road and canal system, and the Great Wall began to protect the northern frontier. Tapos after Qin Dynasty, dumating naman itong Han Dynasty. During this period, China enjoyed one of its golden ages na kung saan nag-prosper hindi lang yung culture nila but also their commerce, and their government began to base on the Confucian ideal of paternalistic rule by educated and moral men. From China, punta naman tayo sa India. During the Indus Civilization, dito na lumabas yung tinatawag nilang Great Cities. The Mohenjo-daro and Harappa. Dito makikita natin yung regular laid out streets, brick buildings, and other civic amenities. And then, this civilization was in state of collapse nung pumasok na itong Aryan peoples. Tapos, during the Indus Civilization, hindi pa ganun ka-clear ang religion practice ng India. Dito meron silang cult figurines, goddesses, and fertility emblems. And then, these Aryan invaders introduced an independent religion which was expounded in a body of writings na tinatawag nilang Vedas. The Rig Veda, ito naman yung oldest Aryan text na naging source ng Hindu literature. And then by 563 BC, dito na lumabas yung Buddha. And by the 3rd century BC, naging isa na siya sa doktrina ng Maurya dynasty nung na-convert into Buddhism yung kanilang emperor. Dito naman tayo ngayon sa Greece and the Greek world. Yung architecture ng ancient Greece, ito yung naging origin ng European architecture. Tapos yung geography ng Aegean area, dito nag-start ang navigation kung saan yung mga seafaring traders from Eastern Mediterranean attracted sila sa Aegean. Sila yung nagdala ng knowledge or idea regarding this Near Eastern and Egyptian form. Tapos yung civilization, na-develop naman siya dito sa island of Crete. Tapos napunta sa mainland, pati sa adjacent communities ng Aegean. By 14th century BC, Greeks had migrated from mainland, across the Aegean, regions of Asia Minor, and Cyprus. And then during the period of revival, napunta naman itong mga Greeks sa North Africa, Cyrenaica to be exact. And then sa coast of Black Sea, Southern Italy and Sicily. So itong mga communities na to, nag-contribute sila sa development ng classical Greek architecture. So Greek architecture was stimulated by Egypt and Near East, and then Greek stimulated Roman and European architecture. Okay, so we're done with their descriptions. Doon naman tayo sa kanilang physical characteristics. Let's begin again with Egypt and ancient Near East. Yung Near East, meron siyang 3 zones. First zone is the Arabian Peninsula, which is located sa south, kung saan meron siyang desert and fertile highlands sa part ng Yemen. Yung second zone is the Fertile Crescent. Dito naman sa zone na to nakalocate yung kanilang grasslands, steppes, foothills, and rivers. Tapos yung last zone nila, or the third zone, is the chain of mountains from Taurus through eastern Turkey. That's the ancient Near East. So tingnan naman natin yung physical characteristic ni Egypt. Dito makikita natin yung Valley of Nile, bounded on each side by the arid desert. And this Nile River is also known as a slow-flowing river. So one of the distinct form tungkol dito sa zone ni Egypt is that the towns and villages were strung out over long distances. Yung climate dito sa Near East, naglalaro lang siya between adequate and insufficient rainfall. And on their highland region, it is supplemented by snow. On their northern plains, their climate was more arid or excessively dry. At yung rainfall doon ay hindi sapat para sa mga crops nila, kaya kailangan talaga nila ng irrigation. Okay, next, tignan naman natin yung physical characteristics nitong early Asian culture. Start again tayo dito kay China. In China, there was a rich zone of marshes. Ito yung wetlands na madalas makikita sa mga lakes because in China, they are also rich in lakes and alluvial plains with little natural forest cover. And in terms of their climate, the rainfall was sparse and during winter, it was really harsh. Pero itong cold, arid climate nila suited naman for their farming, hunting, and fishing. Next, another part of early Asian culture, sa physical characteristic naman tayo ni India. So sa India, meron silang seaborne trade along their coastlines. Tapos yung climate dito is hot-dry. Yung sources ng minerals, metals, and animal products nila is from the foothills of Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Iran. And yung plains dito sa India, subject siya into flooding. Kaya dun na nag-start yung appearance ng kanilang Harappan cities. Again, after Egypt and Near East, early Asian culture, ito naman tayo sa physical characteristic ng Greece. So regarding on their climate, their winters are short. During summer naman, they are hot and dry. Kaya kung mapapansin natin yung interiors ng Greek buildings, they were designed to provide relief from intense light and heat of summer. And then yung mga temples nila, they only receive light through their doors. Tapos yung ibang buildings nila, maliliit lang talaga yung windows. So Greek lands are mountainous and prone to earthquake. Meron silang kaunting rivers and itong rivers na to, hindi sila navigable. Ginagamit lang siya for irrigation. So, that's all for this video. Sana may natutunan kayo and hopefully samahan nyo ulit ako sa next video natin na kung saan itatakil naman natin yung tungkol sa history nila Egypt, ancient Near East, early Asian culture, and Greece. God bless! Thank you for watching. Kung nandito ka para matuto, salamat at napili mo tong video ko. And kung nandito ka naman just to judge the content creator, sana masaya ka.